Will artificial intelligence be the downfall of the human race? Welcome back to another episode of the adventures of Cece and Hass. Today, we're talking about the pros and cons of artificial intelligence. Whenever technology is introduced to us, it usually gives us a convenience and is almost always portrayed as something positive. So what do you think some of the pros are of artificial intelligence, Cece?
Definitely in the area of medical research. I think that AI is able to take us farther in our medical research, as well as to take us they're able to speed things up to get faster for cures, especially for things like cancer, sickle cell, things that are have been very difficult to cure.
I had a guy come by the office just recently, and he told me about how he was investing in a company. He was in a pharmaceutical company, and he was invested in a company that had artificial intelligence that was creating pharmaceuticals, or increasing the amount of time it takes for a pharmaceutical to come to market, when it would have normally taken years or months. Now it's down to days, or it severely decreased the amount of time that a drug was to come to market. So I mean, you can definitely see AI in a lot of different areas of our lives.
Right. I think the other area that's a big one for myself is just how it frees up your time. So, for example, even just the little simple things like having the iRobot, the Roomba. We named ours Nelson, and he cleans our floors, and that saves time. It saves energy from having to do different things. I think also just having, like I said, just having the convenience of having your time freed up. So now you're able to use, things that normally would have taken you longer. Now you're able to employ those AI tools and do them much faster.
Sure. I was on a conference, and they were talking about how you could have digital, produce digital work, and they were talking along the processes of launching your business, or launching your digital platform, or what have you. And what they said, that the process of creating the story around your company, that process normally took several months. But now that artificial intelligence is available, it severely decreased the amount of time. So putting that copyright together, it's less mind taxing. They're able to put some categories, some standards into the artificial intelligence, and it spits back out something that sounds very plausible. It's very neat, it's very clean, and comes across very human. Where people want to buy into what it is that you're selling, so to a certain degree, it levels the playing field.
Wow.
It analyzes large sets of data. So now, where people were taking not years and years, but, took a long time to analyze all of this data, and to go through it and to, put it all together, AI is able to do it in seconds. So now, we're able to go through and do what we were amazed at how Google was able to assess different information on all of these different computers and all of that, and pull up all of these different things from all of these different networks. Well, that's how AI is able to do that in seconds now. So I mean, it definitely gives us a lot of time, back. And it also gives us solutions very quickly, but where does that leave us as humans now?
I mean, I think that the number one threat to AI is actually the human creativity. I think because that now we're not having to think as much. We've lost a lot that in this process of just human evolution along with AI, that we will lose a lot of creativity. And I think that is something that will eventually, that we'll suffer from eventually. And I think the other side, I think another one is the fact that now we have created these unrealistic, everything has been photoshopped or AI generated now. All the images that you see, a lot of the images that you see on TV, even with celebrities, even with regular people. And I think that has created a unrealistic beauty standards. And I don't think it affects necessarily, Gen X as much, but definitely Gen Z. Definitely the millennials and any of the generations that's coming behind them, because now we don't really know what real people look like,
Sure.
or what people should look like, things that people think are flaws, just part of being the human beauty are now, going to be erased because AI has been programmed to say, oh, maybe you shouldn't have freckles, or oh, maybe you shouldn't have dark skin, or maybe you shouldn't have, big lips, or whatever it is that they're editing out of the human race. And so I think that's definitely something for us to watch.
I mean, we could definitely find ourselves not being able to rely on that which we have relied on so long, and that's history. We, by way of having books and by, that's what we've used to prevent us from repeating history, is having these documents and these resources. But AI now can redesign that by way of pictures to create deep fakes.
Oh yeah.
Now we don't know what to trust.
Yeah. Sure.
We don't know what is real and what is not. What has been created by this digital age, and what really happened. We can really it can totally change the landscape of how we continue to move, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
What does the saying go? A person who doesn't know who he is will be anything. I mean, that they'll. It's something like that.
A person who doesn't stand for something will fall for anything.
Well, that one is one, but I'm also talking about the one about where you need to know who you are, know where you come from, know what your history is.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So that you don't repeat it, or so that you can be able to grow from there, or be able to use that to catapult. Deep fakes. It also may prevent human beings from having empathy, because I believe AI has been put into the technology that's used for companies to hire. It's been put in the technology that's used for the
diversity programs.
Programs for the police officers to assess danger.
Yeah.
And that AI can have
it can have biases because
biases.
That's the other thing too that we have to remember. That's the other danger of AI is we have to remember that people have started these algorithms. So now if you have a little kid and you teach that kid to hate to hate Spanish people or something. If you teach that kid that, then that kid is going to perpetuate that. As they grow, they're going to continue to learn that unless something changes that algorithm of their mind. And so that's very similar with AI. If AI has been programmed to say, oh, lighter skin is better than darker skin, or darker skin is better than lighter skin, they're going to continue to learn and grow. And after a while, that's all that's going to be. And I actually, that's kind of funny because we were playing around with some filters on TikTok. And it was strange because the filter, first off, the filter would only pick him up, and then when it finally picked me up, it every single time it changed something on me, it made my skin lighter, which I thought was interesting because I didn't ask asked it to do that. I was playing around with some other factor of it, and I just thought that was interesting. That so the point is that you have to remember that AI is, even though it's a computer and it's supposed to be perfect in and of itself because it's an algorithm, it is not going to be perfect because that algorithm was created by a person who may or may not have biases, or it might not necessarily be biases. It could just be the fact that this person puts in, this is what the standard of beauty is in our culture.
Right.
And so we're going to put this in. And maybe they're not necessarily, racist or anything like that, but maybe they're just saying, okay, this is what we think is beautiful.
Yeah.
And so now the AI is going to always exclude anything that doesn't look like what that standard of beauty is.
Absolutely. I mean, there can be a lot of implications that are social-economic inequalities that come from this artificial intelligence. How it will, especially being that we are putting it in control of assessing data, being that we are already buying into the convenience of how fast it assesses data. Once we get to a point where we totally depend on it and we trust that, and you know how a lot of people will be. They're like, well, this person is very smart and they created it, so we should believe it. It can't be wrong. Right. And, they can program their biases. They can program different issues into the system. I mean,
and even when we were talking about that, when you're talking about it for around political elections and things of the sort, how it goes in and the algorithms get sent out into social media, and people start seeing all this different propaganda for different things that are influencing the way they think and the way they vote. And so it's it's kind of scary. Yeah. It depends on who's driving the car.
Absolutely. And it'll control our minds, because we've already seen the effects that the social media has on us.
Right.
And if AI is sending out those messages as if we are people, as if we are, if it's sending out those messages, then it's going to control the way that we think. So it can also control market volatility, in the same way. We've got our money into stocks, and we see how the social media can control the market.
Right.
Who's to say that AI doesn't, especially if for some reason the biggest fear that we have is that AI becomes self-aware, and it can assess how to control these humans, and it is to put them into a constant chaos loop.
Yeah.
And definitely with controlling our money, folks will be running around in chaos.
I also wanted to add one last thing, which is about privacy issues surrounding AI, because we already know that we don't understand how it works, but something is at play. Because even like yesterday, we went to the store and we bought some Pillsbury biscuits, which we had not bought in years. In years. And a commercial showed up on our Amazon.
I thought that those commercials usually came from our search history on our phone or something like that. But I hadn't been looking for Pillsbury. I've been thinking about it. Now that's the part is whether or not AI is reading our minds so much now, which, with them having a digital representation of us, then it could be saying, hey, this guy likes fluffy biscuits, but
you know what?
I'm some commercials about.
It could have been our Alexa. That's the only thing that we had in the house. Something's listening, and it was very strange because I had not seen the Pillsbury commercials where they poke his little tummy.
Yeah.
I had not seen that commercial in years, and that commercial showed up on our thing, and it was very weird and we had not bought that brand of biscuits, and I want to say. It had to have been years, like you said, years. So.
Well, there's definitely no surprise that AI is listening to us, or that we have devices that are listening to us, and that they are sending us messages and learning about us. But the fear is that AI will replace humans, replace our creativity, replace our the need for humans to make decisions.
Yeah.
Replace the human mind.
Yeah.
Who was that was talking? Said in order for us to continue to evolve, we must be able to jack into AI, because AI is gonna outgrow us, out evolve us. Yeah. And so in order to keep the playing field level with AI, we got to integrate with it.
Wow, how about that? So with that said, are you guys going to integrate with AI?
Are you ready for the future?
Are you ready?
Until next time, we definitely enjoyed you all being with us. Please like, comment, subscribe, come back, join us for the next adventure.
Peace.
Peace.
Crazy.